Hello and welcome everybody to Getting Started QuickBooks on the Intuit platform. I hope you are all excited to be here today. We are very excited to have you here. I am your host today. My name is Stephanie St. Louis. I'm the owner of SSL Solutions based out of Northern Ontario, just outside of North Bay to be exact, for anybody who knows anything about Northern Ontario. It's wildly cold here today, just like I assume it is across all of Canada. So hopefully you guys are all bundled up and warm and having a nice hot chocolate and watching this session with us. I am joined today by a fabulous team that's going to be helping us get through today's session. Welcome, Ricky Duquette. He is the owner of Riquiel's Solutions de Gestion based out of Quebec, and the fabulous, the wonderful Gisèle Doucette, owner of the Art of Accounting. So they are going to be your moderators today. I will talk in just a second a little bit more about how you can interact with them. So for today's webinar, if you guys want to head over to your Zoom screen, you'll be able to see a little tab called Resources, and the handout is available to download in there. I strongly suggest downloading that handout because there's some really great links, and we link back to the sessions prior to this one, the ones that led up to this one. So definitely a good idea to go ahead and download that handout. It is, again, like I said, in that Zoom menu bar under the Resources tab. You will be able to interact with Gisèle and Ricky today via the Q&A button. So if you've got questions about the content that you are hearing or seeing on my screen, you can definitely ask the question in the Q&A. Please make sure to do a little bit of a spell check before you send the question over. Please also make sure that you're asking questions about today's session. There is a lot of you here today, and I mean a lot. So we want to make sure that we get all the questions about today answered, and so we don't really have time to focus on any other Intuit questions. Also want to make sure that you're giving as much context as possible because Gisèle and Ricky are so busy answering questions that they don't always listen to what I'm saying. How dare they, right? No, I'm joking. Um, they will definitely want to answer your questions as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So if you can give them a little context about what you are asking about, that is always very helpful as well. A recording of this webinar, listen up. A recording of this webinar is being emailed to you within the next few days. So I really would like if you could take the time to just sit back, relax, drink that hot chocolate I mentioned about, and pay attention to what we're telling you because you will get a recording of what exactly we talk about today, emailed to you. So then you can go back and review sections and see if any of your questions might have been answered through there, and try out some of those features within your own books while watching this session too. So no need to ask if you're getting an emailed version to Gisèle and Ricky. It is being emailed to you. Just give us a few days to make that happen, okay? And as you can see on the screen, it says the QuickBooks Online ecosystem is constantly changing. That's why we're here today. So what you see on my screen today might differ a little bit as improvements keep being made, but we should be all in the same it should be pretty stable now, but there all are changes and improvements happening all the time. Okay, for those of you who require professional development credits, so CPD, today's session is based more or geared more towards bookkeepers and accountants. So for those of you who need those CPD credits, you will receive your credits, but you must be in attendance for at least 80% of today's session in order to get that credit. And the CPD certificate will be emailed to you. Well, it's not a certificate, it's a link to your certificate within 48 hours of attending this session. It's a very manual process for us. So you want to make sure that you just give us that full 48 business hours. So by the end of the week, you should have it. Once you get that email, the link to download your certificate is only good for about 14 days. So when you get that email, it's really important that you go ahead and download that certificate within 14 days. Otherwise, the link will be broken. If for whatever reason you don't get your email, you guys, and I think Gisèle or Ricky will put the email address in the chat. You can email ca_training@intuit.ca and request that certificate be resent to you. if for whatever reason there was a glitch and you didn't get it. But just hold off until the end of the week. It will likely come to you. Today's course is eligible for 1 CPD credit because we're here for 1 hour together. And I hope that's going to be enough time to share all the really cool features that I get to show you about today. I'm going to go off camera, and so are Ricky and Giselle, because my French hands like to cause a scene where people can't focus on what I'm saying. So we will shut down our videos, and then that way everybody can focus on what we are teaching and showing you today. So getting started. This is the agenda that we have for today. We've got getting started, creating projects, categorizing transactions, generating tax reports, generating month-end reports, growing the business, and reviewing recommendations. Lots of cool things. We're really gearing this towards today is how to make all these new AI agents help with our workflows and help with the functionality. You're going to see them in action today. And how do they help us make us better at what we do and more efficient at what we do? That's what we're getting into today. You'll see as we get started, you'll see that our screens, the slides look like this, and you'll see different SKUs at the top. So not all agents are in every SKU. They're not available to every single user. So if the SKU is written at the top here or is shown at the top, those are the SKUs that those agents will be available in. So that's another good reason to have the handout, because maybe there's a SKU that you're really interested in. On the handout, it will detail exactly which levels of QuickBooks have access to those specific agents. Hey, QuickBooks on the Intuit platform. For those of you who don't know, there's a new Intuit platform. But I'm pretty sure we all know this by now, and we've actually been to one of these training sessions. As I mentioned before, this is the third webinar in the series of webinars that we've been doing. So back in September, we did a webinar called QuickBooks on the Intuit platform, where we showed you how to opt in and how to opt out of the new UI, so the new user interface, how to navigate the new user interface. This icon or screen grab here is actually a link that you can click on to go and rewatch that webinar if you'd like to, if you want to go and rewatch it. You can also share it with your clients if they want to go see how to navigate that new user interface. The option is there. And so, again, another great reason to download that handout. In October, we introduced and gave a sneak peek about the new AI agents that were coming to the Intuit platform. I'm clicker happy here. We didn't have access to the AI agents, so it was really just a sneak peek and how they would be performing on the Intuit platform. Again, if you click on this image, there is a link to that webinar as well, in case you or anybody in your circles want to go and rewatch that webinar. Today, we're going to be showing you the platform enhancements and how they're going to improve your workflows. What are the actual functional uses of these agents, and how can you utilize them to make your job easier and more efficient? So some of you have probably seen or heard Intuit Assist and then seen this little logo. That little icon, that little icon, that is the AI agent on the Intuit platform. And it's going to act as a guide on where to find more information and resources generated by the various AI agents. Anytime you see this little blue, and I'm going to call it a snowflake, maybe. So anytime you see this type of icon, it means there's more information to be found and it's worth clicking into, or there's something around it that's worth clicking into, okay? Intuit Assist includes the business feed and all of the AI agents. So here is how the business feed kind of sits at the top, because each AI agent is going to send their information to the business feed, where all the agents are going to come together to deliver their respectful information. So it's kind of like your hub of information for the agents. Today, we're going to see the processes and workflows for each agent and how they can help us, like I mentioned, with our daily tasks. As a reminder, the AI agents in the Intuit platform are only pulling information from the web. They are not pushing any of your information out on the web. For more information on how your data is handled and the security and safety policy on all of those agents and the features, you can head over to Intuit's website, and there is a security and safety policy on how your data is handled and stored. So I strongly suggest if you are concerned about that, head over to Intuit's website. It's very well detailed and laid out there for any questions that you might have. But our agents are really built into the system and are only working within the system. Okay, before we get started though, you guys know we love doing a good poll. How do you feel about using QuickBooks on the Intuit platform? Are you very excited, open-minded, or still deciding? I'm going to do the same question towards the end of our session today. And I'm hoping that if you chose open-minded or still deciding, that we're going to move that arrow or that expectation to that very excited. So that's my goal today. Hopefully you guys will be as excited as I am about all of these agents and how they are going to be working in um, in our in our QuickBooks. All right, we're going to go ahead and end the poll there. Looks like most of you are open-minded, and I like that. Open-minded is good. It means I can transform you into being excited. Great. Challenge accepted. All right, creating projects. So you'll see that it's only available in advanced here. Let's get into this and let's talk about that a little bit more because I know you're all going to come at me and say, well, I create projects in plus, not just advanced. And I know we know that. The project management agent, however, is only available in the advanced SKU. It is not currently available in the plus SKU. So what the project management agent does is it reads your project plan and quickly generates a project. It can also translate for you if necessary. So my friend Ricky did this same session this morning, but in French. And because his QuickBooks is in French, he dropped in an English PDF into this Create project in the project management agent, and it translated the whole document into French for him from English. So there is that functionality, and I'll show you guys where to find that in just a minute. But I think that's a really cool feature. So if other people tend to work in two different languages, there is a translate feature for you if you wanted to use it. So that's really, really neat. All right, let's go look at the demo on how we handle the project management agent. So this is a test company that I'm using. It's There's no personal or confidential information. Like I always like to mention, it's all test data that we use to be able to show you guys how to utilize different features. So I'm going to go ahead and click on all apps. Now, I've been on social media a lot lately, and everybody's like, there's more clicking. And so if you don't choose to open the all apps window, if you go this way and go through and then click, then yes, there is more clicking. However, if you click on all apps and you open this window, I do find that there's a lot less clicking. So for anybody who's worried about the clicking, the other day I was literally testing myself on this, and I was saying, I can go from customers to chart of accounts to the bank transactions all within one click, just like the old navigation bars. Does it take a little bit more room on the left-hand side? Yeah, it does, but I've got a very big screen, so I guess that's irrelevant to me. But I do find I can navigate through these things relatively quickly. So I actually like, and I think there's less clicking, but that involves you opening that My Apps drawer and keeping it open. So hopefully that helps a few of you out to decide, that there's not nearly as much clicking as what everybody is talking about. Okay, so let's talk about projects. And I never know, is it projects or projects? I say it twice because I'm French and English, so I don't know. I say it both ways. So when I click on projects, I've got this screen that opens, and you can see there's a number of projects on this screen. When you click into New Project, on the left-hand side here, that's where you see the AI agent. So the project management agent, we've got that blue little snowflake. We're going with snowflake. It's fine. Um, on the left-hand side at the top here, and it says drag and drop files here. So before, you used to have to fill out all this information manually. Now you're able to just upload a PDF, a JPEG, or a PNG file, and it will populate a lot of this data on its own. Now, it is an AI agent that's filling in this information. So, depending on how the information is laid out, it's hopefully clear enough for the agent to bring that information over. So, what I'm going to do is show you two different formats so that you can see that there's different um, it's capable of reading different types of information. So the first one that I'm going to show you is what's a contract. And this is just a sample contract that I have. It's got a lot of information in it, a lot of words. But what it does is that it's going to pull the relevant information to be able to create this project for me in my QuickBooks file. So I'm going to close that. And I'm just going to drag and drop this over here. Now, when I do that, this window pops open. How should we use this file? Okay, well, if you use this file to populate fields, you may replace project details you've already entered. So let's click on, you can choose to attach file only or update fields. I'm going to click update fields. And now it's thinking and it's analyzing that whole document, and it will populate the information so that I can create this project in my QuickBooks. So it'll say, and there's a little bit of a, I don't, sometimes this works great, and sometimes there's just a little bit of overlap to make it a bit hard to see, but it'll say customer not found. So you can choose to create this customer. So you can say add new here, and then you could fill out all the information here and save, and then it creates the customer in our customer profile. It pulled the email address from that document. It pulled the start date. There was no real end date in my document. I love all the hearts that I'm getting for this. This is awesome. I love that you guys love this. That's perfect. The status of the project is not started yet. That's fine. We could change it here. Nowhere in my document did it say specifically project name. So we could say, construction of building A if we wanted to, right? We could name this whatever we want. It filled out the billing address. We could decide if the shipping address is the same as the billing address. It also created a little summary of what it read so that in the notes, so that it populated that. Your agent here, though, it never fills out information here that it doesn't show you the reasoning for it. Why did it choose this information? So you could expand this screen and it gives you very detailed information of why it populated this information and where it found it. Okay. If you had custom fields, it would fill this out down below too. Once you're done creating all of this, you can hit save and close and move on, and your project will be created. If I do that, that attachment that I put in stays in my attachment section. Oops. Wait, well, it should be in my attachment section. It's just having a little wee bit of a glitch here. But it usually populates in that attachments section. I might just have to refresh my screen for that. Okay, the next one though I want to show you is one that Ricky shared with me this morning because it just looks a little bit different. So the reason I want to show you this is before I showed you a very specific contract and the information was laid out in a contract where sometimes that's hard to read. Ricky shared this morning a project proposal and service agreement where the information was very well laid out and detailed. Okay, so if I chose this project instead, and I drop that into my project management agent. Again, I'm going to say yes, update the fields with that. It's going to work away at this, and it works equally as well with this project proposal as it did with a contract. So what I was trying to do here is show you that there's no specific format you have to have for this. You don't have to, it doesn't have to look the same or for every single client that you have because sometimes things look different, right? So populated all this information. Lovely. The customer was already in this QuickBooks file, so it filled that right away. Same with the email. It had custom fields in that project, so it populated that down here as well. It's still showing us that reasoning. So it doesn't matter really what the PDF looks like or how it's formatted. It will grab all that information and bring it forward for you. Hey, I'm going to discard that and not save it. Perfect. Let's go back to our slide deck and have a peek at our next agent. So categorizing transactions. So when we've got transactions, we all do this, whether we're bookkeepers or accountants, we daily have to categorize transactions. The accounting agent that we have is available in Essentials, Plus, and Advanced. It identifies potential errors in balance sheets and the profit and loss reports with a path to resolution. It will streamline collaboration between accountant or bookkeepers so you can flag what needs attention and get deeper context about your transactions. It saves you time and it helps keep your books clean and accurate. That's the accounting agent. That agent, when it spots those transactions that need more information and how it facilitates the communication between the accountants or their bookkeepers and their clients, they can gather more necessary details for seamless posting. The in-platform chat and messaging means that we don't have that lengthy email chain between our clients and us, which saves time clarifying information and posting transactions to our books. The chat feature is found in the new AI bank feed, which leads us into our next slide. So another part of categorizing transactions is that AI bank feed. It categorizes entries from your bank feeds with inline and editable fields for category, supplier, class, location, taxes, and products and services. You no longer need to open up an overlay to edit and post those transactions, and it helps keep your books clean and accurate as well. So we're going to go into product and we're going to look at both of those features and see how they can help streamline our workflow. I have to say, I love the new AI bank feed. I wasn't sold on it at first because change, right? Who loves change? Not us, not us as bookkeepers and accountants. But this new AI bank feed, it's grown on me and I am loving it. And I'm loving how efficient I am with it. So first off, let's go look at reports and see how that accounting agent is helping us better work with reports. So we're going to go on profit and loss. And this feature to me is really, really cool. So I went into reports and you're going to say, well, I don't see the agent. I know it's not here because I'm in classic view. You have to switch over to modern view to be able to see the accounting agent, okay? You'll see since I did that, I've got two insights and I've got the little agent highlighted here or the little agent icon here. So this is for November 1st to the 30th. You could filter this by different dates, different periods, and it would still have insights for those periods, okay? It can go back fairly far and look back in your books to give you insights. There's a few options here. So I can go ahead and click on the insights and it'll give me that information. So 2 insights found. Analyze one potential accounting issue with the accounting agent. You can click into either of these insights. So if I click on the first one, it's saying my services declined by 21%. When I click on that, it's saying, okay, well, your income, your services was down 21%. Notice how it says my services, and there's my services, and there's the little AI agent. So it's flagging that specific line, and that's the report that it found, or the insight that it's giving me, right? And then the best part is that it tells me the root cause. Well, the decrease is caused by fewer large invoices in November 2025 compared to October 2025. And it'll say this, it'll give you more detailed information with that. You can download this report if you want to, so that you can make it a talking point with one of your clients if you need to. If I go back, there's also a second insight that I could click into. I also have the option of just clicking on the little AI icon um, on the line item to see what that's all about. So that also opened this chart, and you can go back to all the insights here as well. So this is available on the profit and loss. I love that you guys are loving this. Look at the hearts and the thumbs up. That's perfect to me. Okay, if we chose a balance sheet, same deal. You have to switch to modern view to see that agent in action, okay? And then our insights are here and they will populate. So on the balance sheet, I've got 5 insights. Great. So I would suggest you don't have to use this information. I know I've seen a lot of people post, do I have to use the agents? Can I turn them off? No, we can't turn them off. Okay. Don't click on the insights if you don't want to see. It's just added information, in my opinion. And so if you click on it, you can read into it. Maybe they'll see something that we didn't see. And that's great. More information, the better. Or maybe you'll see exactly what you expected there. Well, that's great too. It just reinforced that you're right, in my opinion. And that's a good thing. I like being told I'm right all the time. My kids hate it, but I like it. So that's how I would use those agents, this accounting agent within my reports. Okay. I love that some of you got my joke there and that gave me the little laughing emoji. Thank you. Um, okay, that's how we look at the accounting agent in the apps. Let's go back into our all apps and go to our bank transactions. This is my happy place. I'm not going to lie. Um, I've got a number of staff and they tend to do this categorizing more. I do more reviews now. And the other day I got to categorize and I was like, this is fun. I want to play in the categorizing transactions more with these bank transactions. Um, but so there's really cool options here and features. So before, you used to click on a transaction and it would open up and it would fill out here, right? You don't have to do that anymore. You can, but you don't have to. So if I take Adobe, for example, we all know what Adobe is. It's software. In this case, this client uses software as the expense report, right? So the AI agent, see how there's the AI agent here and here, it filled out this information for us. If we're not happy with it though, and we want to change it, absolutely we can. We can go ahead and change that, no problem. If we want to choose a different expense account, no worries. Let's do that too. We can manually change it here and choose to post it right from this section. However, we want to see maybe it's a supplier, maybe we didn't know what Adobe was, right? You could open that drawer still and expand this information, and the AI agent gives us suggestions. So the top suggestion that it's recommending is the software expense, and it'll tell you kind of why and why it's choosing software, but you can see the history behind that. So if I click on software, it says it'll give me more information. If I click on office supplies, it'll tell me you might want to choose office supplies. This is just a test software, so there's not a ton of data in it, but it will also show you the history of Adobe. So previously, Adobe was used in software, so probably a good idea to continue with that, right? So that's what these are for. For the suppliers that we don't know what they are, it even gives us a little description of what Adobe Systems is, and it gives us a link to their website. So I know for me, I like was always having a Google window open and I was Googling what is Adobe, for example. I don't have to do that anymore. I can literally click on Adobe's website because the agent found it for me and I can go and see what Adobe is. If I didn't like what suggestions it made, so transaction type is not an expense, it's a transfer, for example, or I didn't want to use software, I can manually come here and change those things as well. I can also upload an attachment, so the bill here if I wanted to. I can post it from here. I can split it like I used to. I can create a rule here if I like I used to. I've also got the exclude button here. So that's new. The exclude button wasn't in that window that we used to be able to expand and open before, but now it is here. So if I don't want to enter it, I can choose to exclude it. I'm going to close this window because I'm going to show you the next part. So we can also, let's say all these things were right, but we wanted to attach the bill. We can literally do that right from here without expanding that window. We have the option of putting the attachments to that expense right from this screen as well. Okay, here's the part I love the most. Let's say, so for me, I do a lot of catch-up work. I tend to get a lot of clients that have really bad books or that haven't done their books in 2 years. Lucky me. And I have to do 2 years worth of catch-up, right? I can upload their statement into the bank transactions section, and then I can choose, let's say I see UPS is here a lot for this client, okay? I'm going to choose UPS and hit search. Now, there's only October and November in here, but if you have to do a whole year's worth of catch up, you could type in UPS, grab all the UPS transactions, click edit, and you could fill in. So the supplier was UPS. And the account I'm going to go with is freight and delivery. And if there was a class I wanted or location, the tax, we're going to say it was just HST. If I wanted to attach a customer or a tag or anything to it, I could. I can apply and post 9 transactions, but let's pretend this is a whole year. That could be 900 transactions that I literally post within less than a minute. Do you know how excited I am about this? I this feature. And I see you guys love it too, because there is a lot of clapping and hearts going on, which makes me super happy about it. Okay. So you can apply in post or just apply, whichever you prefer. I'm going to X out of there and I'm going to uncheck those. If let's say you don't have, a year's worth, but you see that there's a lot of, let's say FedEx, you can also do it manually like this, and you don't have to search for all the FedEx. You can grab the 3 FedExes that are there and you can edit them in one fell swoop. You can also see though, if these FedExes all had the information that was right. So let's say it says HST, FedEx, freight and delivery. This also has the information. This also has the information. Well, there's nothing I'm changing, so I don't have to click edit. I can go ahead and post those and they're just posted. So I can click on all the ones that are right and just post them without having to go further. So if all of these were right and I was happy with the selection that the agent was making or the suggestions that the agent was making, I could literally click on all of them and post all of them together. Now, are they going to go in one lump sum? No, they're each individual lines that are going to get posted at the same time. So you could come in here and fill out all of these things, all of these boxes that need to be filled out. And then instead of clicking post on each line, you could highlight all of them or choose all of them and go ahead and post them all in one sheet. All right. I know you guys are going to love that. I find this is going to be this is a game changer for my staff. Because they're so much quicker at finishing a file now because they're able to categorize those transactions so much more efficiently. Okay, the next feature I want to show you here, and I know I'm spending a lot of time on this section because I think it's so very important, is the chat agent. So you'll see there's request more info. I told you guys that there's a chat agent, an inline agent that you can talk to your clients with. Now you're all going to come at me and say, my client doesn't have access to QuickBooks. No worries. What it does is that you can click on this and you could type in, was this personal or was this a business expense? Or can you please upload the bill for this so that I can see exactly what it is? You can add and post this, or you can add it to a request list. What that does is that you can go up here and look at all your requests. So there's 17 in this file, and you can look to see, okay, what have I sent to my client? What questions have I asked? So I did this one earlier. Was this personal or for business? I sent it to my client. They get an email on their end, and then they just click into that email and respond to it, and it populates the information here. So you would see the information being populated here, and then you could add another response to them if you wanted to. You could also I'm going to go back and I'm just going to show you an example of one that was done. So here, for example, this one, it's got that little red mark. Can you add the receipt Joelle sent? And then the client uploaded the receipt. And then your Intuit agent said, the receipt you uploaded was from Loblaw Companies for 2381. The transaction is for 1969 from Amazon. Can you upload the correct receipt? So the agent figured out that this was the wrong one and asked for the right one so that you're not constantly going back and be like, hey, wrong one, or going back and forth a million times. The agent will help you with that. Okay, so that's another really, really cool feature, I think. And then you don't have to click into that request section up top to see the answer. Sorry, up here to see the answers. You can see here. So there you go. Can you add the receipt? Here is the receipt, and it shows you there. And then you can keep moving forward and answering or filling out the boxes as you wish through this system. I know, very, very exciting. I'm super stoked about all of this. All right, generating tax reports. We all do it. There's sales tax for all of us, I'm pretty sure. So let's talk about the sales tax AI agent. It is available in Easy Start, Essentials, Plus, and Advanced, so almost all the SKUs. It generates a pre-file check report comparing profit and loss income to sales tax liability income. So before, you probably used to have to create or start your sales tax module, and then you would see a number on line 101. Best practice is to also pull your profit and loss report and make sure your line 101 matches your income total line on your profit and loss report. Okay, we'll talk about that more in just a second. The sales tax AI agent highlights differences and their significance. It verifies anomalies within the sales tax reports, and it simplifies reviews and ensures that sales tax filings are accurate. It also provides us more information and easier information to find. So I like to joke that as a bookkeeper, I'm the best private investigator that there is. Like, now nobody can hide things from me. Because I always have to find the discrepancies in line 101, right? So this agent actually helps us find those discrepancies and it tells us how to fix them. Oh my goodness. How exciting is that? So let's go into our file again and look at that. So we're going to go down to the sales tax section and click on the overview. Okay. So there's two ways to get to the sales tax AI agent. You can choose to click the little wee drop down and click on pre-file check. I find, if I'm being honest, this one's hard to see that it's the agent because it doesn't have the little icon there because it's just not conducive to this whole section. But if you click on prepare return, you'll see that there's that AI agent. Check your return before you file. View pre-file check. So same thing, it gets us to the same place, but this one just kind of shows that it's the AI agent that's helping us here, okay? So I'm going to click on view the pre-file check. Now, it's going to analyze my line 101 and my P&L. And it's saying, hold on, before you do anything, there's a $25,000 discrepancy. You might want to look into that. You can ask to explain this to me more by opening that up and reading that information. You can look, it says sales tax code used on liability transaction. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Okay. So it will give you the exact invoices that this is affecting, but it also says see how to resolve. What? Okay. Invoice 1169. It gives you a whole summary of why it could be wrong, and it gives you a suggestion on how to fix this. What? Cool. So if you guys haven't taken the sales tax webinar, I really strongly suggest you do. It's free for bookkeepers and accountants to take it. It's available in your training resources. In that sales tax webinar, it explains the differences between zero rated, out of scope, and exempt. So it will help you understand these suggestions and how to resolve these suggestions if you understand exactly how the sales tax module works. You can read the suggestion and you can see, okay, well, what's wrong? Why are these changes? But then you can also click on view and it will take you right to that issue, right to that invoice. And you can go and see, okay, well, what did my client do? Why is this wrong? Well, and I'm sorry, this file gets used in French and in English, but basically the client took a deposit, put it on the invoice, and then put exempt. In French, it's exonéré. So when you choose the exempt, that populates that income onto line 10, it populates onto line 101 as income, which it shouldn't for a deposit, right? We should have used out of scope for this instead. But also, this isn't the way I would probably do a deposit, so there's other things. But it's a good example of why it populated in this area, okay? So it opens a lot of extra windows, though. I'm going to go back to here. So in here, you can choose to view, you can choose to resolve, you can look at the suggestion on how to resolve, or if you're comfortable with what it did, you could choose to ignore as well. I probably wouldn't ignore this, I would fix this. But the options are there. You are always in control. It doesn't force you to do the suggestions or tell you you have to make these changes. It's just a tool to help us solve our problems or fix our issues. Maybe some of you didn't even know that that was an issue, and now you're going to learn a bunch of new stuff because of this AI agent. That's great, in my opinion. Knowledge is, you know, the best thing that we could do for our client. Learning more and being more in tune with how the program is working is the best thing that we could do for each of our clients, in my opinion. But we also have to be able to look at this information and know whether it's right or wrong. So they still need our brain to process all of this, right? All right, I'm going to close this. So that's the sales tax AI agent. As a reminder, you can get it from here, pre-file check, or prepare return and click on it up here, view pre-file check. Let's go back to our slide deck and let's talk about generating month-end reports, because we know we all do this as well. So this is where the finance agent comes into play. And the finance agent is actually only available in the advanced version of QuickBooks. So it's not available in the lower SKUs of QuickBooks. The finance agent helps us generate a month-end financial summary on the 5th of the next month. It highlights changes in key financial metrics with period averages. The key metric reports supported by graphs and drill down insights, and it saves time analyzing and highlighting companies' financial health, past data, and budget. The finance agent also provides a summary or an overview and insights on performance highlights, income and expenses, cost of goods sold, gross profit margin, net income, assets and liabilities, accounts receivable, accounts payable, and cash flow trends. So this is a pretty hefty agent. It does a lot. It analyzes a lot, but it's just analysis. You can choose to use it or not. It's up to you. But again, if you tend to provide some sort of CFO service to your clients, to me, this agent is just helping you gather that information and that data and looking at it to see if, you know, I'm going to use it to see if, well, I wonder if it's going to say the same thing as me in the beginning, or is it going to show me something that I didn't even catch or pick up on, right? So it's just an extra tool for us to use. All right, let's go look at that. And now this one, I'm going to go into a different company because I want to show you something. You guys are going to see that I'm in an old. Oh my God, that makes me feel old. I don't mean to say old. In the old, oh, I said it again, in the other interface, right? Because some of our clients do not want to move to the new user platform, and that's okay. If they want to hold off right to the last minute, or if you want to hold off right to the last minute, totally fine. What I wanted to show you though is the AI agents are still in the older user interface. So I'm in that older interface, and you can see this is the finance agent. It's got the little agent icon here. So I went into reports and I clicked on standard. This is where, now, just keep in mind, you do have to be in an advanced file. This finance agent is only available in advanced. When you come to this report section, you're going to click on review summary. And what it's going to do is it's going to literally review all your data that you have. And you're going to be able to change the period that it reviews, what it's looking at, what it's analyzing, and how it functions. So right now, it automatically defaulted to the last month, which is fine. It's doing an accrual counting method. We could change all of this information that we want to, though. It shows me my performance highlights. It gives me a ton of details. Hopefully, these are all things that I would have picked up on as my client's bookkeeper, but maybe it's going to find more information that I just didn't pick up on. I can click on any of these blue items. They're all hyperlinks. And when I do, so I clicked on gross profit, it takes me to the gross profit chart. It gives me details on why the gross profit is increasing. You can drill down on this insight and it will give me more information and it will look at more data and I can click into more things that I can go and look at. So again, it's not doing anything for me. It didn't add information, or I shouldn't say it didn't enter information on my behalf or necessarily do anything. It's just analyzing the data and giving me information that I can choose to use or not. I can edit and export these to a PDF. So if I wanted to create a spreadsheet or a graph for my client and provide them the month-end reports in a different format, in maybe a more chart form, I have all of the tools available to me as the accountant or the bookkeeper here through this finance agent. Okay, let's go to our slide. Now, growing the business. Okay, what's this agent? So this agent is available in Essentials, Plus, and Advance, and it's the customer agent. And it's funny because the other day I was having a conversation with another pro advisor, and they were like, I think this is something that our customers are going to use a lot more than we do. And I said to them, I said, you know what? I'm actually very excited to use this as a bookkeeper because I don't know about you guys, but I get a fair number of leads quite often. And, people email me, what are your rates? Or I need a new bookkeeper. Are you taking on new clients or stuff like that? And I don't really have a platform where I manage those leads. So I'm going to start using this customer agent to start managing my leads in my QuickBooks. That's my goal with this. Anyways, I'm going to try it. So it identifies top leads from my email. It drafts personalized responses and tracks our sales opportunities. It's focusing on the most important leads. So it actually classifies the different leads, whether they're hot or cold or mild, that kind of thing. And it gives personalized replies for confident follow ups. Now, when I say it does that, I mean that it drafts them. We still have to send it out, okay? It's not going to do it on our behalf, it just drafts things on our behalf. So let's go into our demo and see what that looks like. And I'm going to go back to my new user interface because I really think we should focus on the new UI because we're all going to move there eventually. But I did want to show you that those agents are present currently in the old UI for those of you who still want to use that for now. Okay, let's go to our customer hub. And you'll see there's this leads button here now. Now you're going to see there's a bunch of errors at the top here. It's not because it's not working. It's because um, we we hooked up an email, but we can't have all the confidential information of that person's email. So we just disconnected the email so that we could populate some test leads for you guys to see. But it's not that it's not working. It's just that we disconnected so you guys don't see, a ton of confidential information for this person's email account. But if the email was still hooked up, it would be populating all of that information up here. What it did do though is that it does have the emails here and you can see. So there's Helen Cabot. She is a hot lead right now. We're in negotiations. So we could change this to how, are they in the inquiry phase? Are they in the discovery phase? Are we in the negotiation phase? Did we win this? Are we switching her over to a client? And then the agent will do a little summary about where we're at with this client. And then you can review the draft response by clicking on this. You can add the client, you can turn them from a lead into a customer and create their profile in your books. That works by just clicking that button. You can create an estimate here for this client. If you click on review draft response, you'll see the conversation. So you'll see the different email chains that have been happening. And then you'll see the draft response that your agent, the customer agent, has created. You can choose to edit it and change it if you want. You can rewrite with your agent, you ask your agent to schedule the meeting. So you can rewrite the email so that it's more of a meeting schedule than just a response. But you'll see here, it says reconnect your Gmail account to send messages. You're going to say, oh, is it just email? Because I use Outlook. Absolutely not. It's not just Gmail, sorry. So if I go back here and I click on import leads from your inbox, this is where you go to hook in your bank, not your bank account, I'm in bank transactions mode, inbox, your email, so that you can choose external source for your customer hub to connect to. So if you have Gmail, you can choose that. If you have Outlook, you can choose that. You click continue and it'll ask you to sign into your email account so that you can uh, work on the leads that you have with your email. Okay. Um, More things that you can do in here, like I mentioned, you can, I said, add as a customer or create an estimate. You could create a task here that you can use. So lots of different features. From here, we all know what the customers can do. It's the same customers as before, but there's a contract section now. So we can choose to send contracts through here, and we can get clients to sign the contracts through here as well. And see, so sorry, I'm having a bit of an issue. One second here. If we click on create contract, we can choose to create it for a customer or a lead. So if you had a lead, so remember I said Helen Cabot was a hot lead. Let's say we move them to wanting to sign a contract because we landed her account, right? You could click continue and you could get her to sign a contract for e-signature right through your QuickBooks. You would upload the document here and then you could choose to have an authentication method. So maybe she needs an access code, and then you would follow through with the prompts in getting this sent to Helen. So really cool feature. I think we're going to love this. It's going to make it so that we don't have to have like maybe 5 subscriptions to different software. So we'll be able to do everything right from the Intuit platform. Last cool feature here is reviews. Our clients will be able to give us reviews right through here, and then we can respond or send a thank you note if our email is attached to those clients to thank them for reviewing us, whether it be on Google or however you want to take those reviews. So really, really cool features in this section now. Okay, reviewing recommendations. So this is in all the SKUs. So Easy Start, Essentials, Plus, and Advanced. And it's because it's the business feed, right? So all those agents feed up into that business feed or feed down from the business feed. And this is where the AI agents will work within your apps and workflows and will collectively surface up insights, suggestions, and recommendations. It all happens in the business feed. The business feed will begin by populating once you start using the AI agents. So right now, if you guys log into your business feed and you haven't been using those AI agents yet, it's pretty empty. And you'll see that the one that I'm going to show you is pretty empty as well because it's such a new feature to all of us. Once we start utilizing those agents and start really clicking into them and utilizing their features, that business feed will start populating more and more and more, and we'll have more detailed information for us to go and look at. But we'll go look at it right now. So the business feed is this little button here with the icon with that snowflake, that Intuit Assist, right? So there's that business feed. And when I click on it right now, because we've used the customer agent more than any of the other agents here, that's what's showing here. So you'll see the customer agent. It says, hey, you've got 6 new leads from your connected sources already for your review and follow up. You can drop into that or drill down into it and see who those leads are from and what they are. You can view the actions, you can get more information from here. You can also filter all these agents. So once the agents start populating and start being here, you can filter, okay, well, I just want to see the detail from, my customer agent, or I just want to see the detail from my accounting agent. You can filter that to show what's there. If you choose that you do not want to use the agents and you are just not interested in this feature, snooze it. Snooze it, and then you won't see anything. So it doesn't turn it off, it just snooze it. If you turn it back on, or if you unsnooze it, then it'll populate again. So it's your choice. I mean, I don't know that I would actually come here and snooze it. I probably just wouldn't click on the business feed if it was up to me, but you have that option there as well. And it's up to you how you want to utilize that. Okay, so we're nearing the end of our time together, and I did promise that I would come back at the end of our session and ask you this again. And I'm hoping we move that needle from the open-minded to very excited. After seeing everything, how do you feel about using QuickBooks on the new Intuit platform? Are you very excited, open-minded, or still deciding? I'll give you guys a few more seconds to answer that. At all the hearts. Look at all the excitement and clapping. I love that so much. And it's reflecting in your answers too. That is very, very, very exciting to me. All right. And we will go ahead and end that there. Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer that for me. I really appreciate it. Okay, client training. So I said today is about the accountants and the bookkeepers and how we can utilize those agents, but our clients get to use those agents too, and they have the features. So we have training. It'll be very similar to the training that was today. We're just going to change the verbiage a little bit in how we talk to the clients. But we're hosting a webinar specifically for clients on December 18th at 9:30 a.m. The fabulous Ricky, who's answering all your questions today, will be hosting the French version of this. So if you do have French clients, I suggest you send the link to have them sign up for the French version at 9:30 on December 18th. And then I will be back. I will be back on December 18th at 1 p.m. answering or presenting to your English clients. So if you wanted to share that registration link or that QR code, you are more than welcome to share it with them so that your clients can sign up and basically see what we taught you today and how they can best utilize it. You will get a survey to fill out at the end of this session. You can either click on the QR code, the link, or when you close your Zoom screen, the survey will pop up. We always read all of your sorry, I forgot to turn my camera back on to say goodbye to you guys. We read all the comments. And so if you leave us a comment to let us know how we did in this session, we really do appreciate it. Constructive criticism is always very well received and very appreciated because we're trying to do this for you. We're trying to make this product great for you and trying to teach you guys how to best use the features that we have. So if you can give us feedback on what you learned today and the features that you learned about today, that's always appreciated. And we do read it, trust me. Thank you. I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. Thank you very much to Giselle and Ricky for answering all your questions. I know they were frantically answering them in the background. Their fingers are probably very sore right now. And thank you to our Zoom support team for running such a great webinar today. I also, if I don't catch you guys on another webinar between now and the holidays, happy holidays. And I hope you all get to spend some great downtime with family and friends. Have a wonderful day, everybody.